Hey everyone, thanks for joining me again, and today we'll be looking at the SMSL SU-1 DAC and we'll be comparing it to the SMSL PS100. First, let's take a look at the SU-1. The SU-1 has a power button here and we have some LEDs. The first one will say MQA and that'll kick in when you do have an MQA track playing. Next we have USB, then optical and coaxial. If you hold down the little square here, that'll power the unit on and it'll also power it off after your listening session. On the back side, we have USB-C, and this is to power the unit or to transfer data from your computer. You can plug it in directly and that'll transfer data and power. Then we have our Toslink optical, coaxial, and then our analog outputs on RCA only. The first thing you notice right away with the SU-1 compared to the PS100 is the build quality. This unit is solid, it's metal, nice chassis, the button feels better, the LEDs look nicer. Compared to this unit, quite a bit more plasticky. If I were to have seen these two units in a brick and mortar shop, the SU-1 would have instantly gotten my cell. In comparison, this feels like a toy. The RCAs aren't as good quality. And if we take a look at even the optical, we can tell that they use different optical ports. The one on the PS100 is of lower quality. We'll get into the sound comparisons in a second. I just want to share with you guys how I tested the DACs out. I actually compared the SU-1 to the PS100 and to my Cambridge 851N, and I used the same cables on all of them. I used these world best cables with Mogami cable and Amphenol connectors. I also used an optical Toslink splitter. This one's by a company called Link4 and it's pretty nice. You have a power port and then you have a in on your optical there, and then you get 3 optical outs that send the same signal over to these two DACs and to my Cambridge. I use the WIM Mini as my streamer and I send the data via optical here and then these 3 over to my DACs. I don't know if this little box changes anything on sound quality, but presumably if it does, it'll do it to all 3, so I should be getting the same output on all of them. As in my past review on the PS100, I'll tell you that the sound that comes out of the SU-1 is characteristically the same as what you get out of the PS100, just more of it. You still have a centralized image, just it's a little bit wider now and a little bit deeper as well. It still doesn't get to the outside of my speakers, but you definitely get more clarity, and particularly in the highs, that's when you have this, removal of a veil situation. Like you had a dirty window and you just wipe that guy down because you get so much more detail on this unit. Maybe a touch of sharpness. And again, the vocalist is dead center and forward. Not extremely forward, but a little too much for my taste. I like the main vocalist to be a little farther back. Comparing the SU-1 to the Cambridge 851N, that unit is quite a bit more relaxed, still farther back, quite a bit wider sound stage, and definitely more layers. I get about 6 feet of layers in my system. Very smooth and relaxed. For my taste, I prefer the Cambridge. I will say, if I was in my 20s, I'd be extremely happy with this unit, the SU-1, for a sense of energy and presence. The bass is there, not super accurate on the really low, but the mid bass is solid, the highs have air. It's just a mid-range that I find a little bit too much for my liking. But I can definitely see how a lot of people would love the sound. Overall, between the two, far superior sound on the SU-1. The trade-off is here, convenience. The PS100 still has that ARC feature. I don't seem to understand why that's such a big topic right now, why people want that. It does keep you on one remote control, but at the cost of sound quality. You're going to get much better sound out of a dedicated preamp, particularly analog. Now the SU-1 does have a little quirk in that the LEDs never go into sleep mode like they do on the PS100. These always stay on, and when you have the unit powered and it's not picking up a signal, it'll constantly be blinking, which makes you have to get up and power it down. It would have been awesome if they would have made those LEDs go into sleep like the PS100. One of my viewers, Roy F, commented that he had his hooked up to his computer and didn't get that blinking. And I think the reason that was the case in his setup is that he had the USB connected directly to his computer that was powering the unit. And when he powered his computer off, that USB-C port probably shut power down as well, shutting the power off directly to the unit. But if you do have it on a dedicated power supply and there's no signal coming in, you're gonna get that blinking, super annoying. You can cover it up with a little electrical tape, or you can just have the unit hidden behind somewhere, or finally get up and turn it off by hand every night. Seems kind of like a big oversight, because these LEDs are a bit brighter than the ones in the PS100 as well, so they do shine straight at you. So my impressions are that this is an awesome DAC for the money. 100% I would do this one before the PS100. I did try to tune this DAC to my liking, and I went with two different techniques. Firstly, I decided to use the DSP EQ on the WIM Mini software. On the graphic EQ, I dropped 3 dBs on the 1 kHz band, and I went over to the 2 kHz band and went down a dB and a half. So I thought that would push the vocalist a little farther back, but what ended up happening is that it totally collapsed the soundstage. That width that we had gained from the PS100 was now gone, so pretty much it was sounding like a PS100 at that point. So I decided to turn that EQ off, and I went over to the panoramic EQ. Now this time I dialed in 1.2 kHz, and I went down 3 dBs as well, and I adjusted the Q to 1.0. The results were better in sound, but the same thing with the soundstage, completely collapsed. So I decided to turn that EQ off. The second I turned the DSP EQ off on the WIM, that soundstage just popped back up. So for myself, in my main listening area, the WIM's DSP EQ is a definite no. Next, I brought out the shit Lokius and I plugged that into the chain. I didn't touch any of the bands except for the 2 kHz band. I brought it down just a touch. Now in this case, it did push those vocals back, completely left the soundstage alone, but it did slightly compress the layering, so it wasn't quite as deep. But it definitely pushed the vocalist a little farther back, much more to my liking. I like that relaxed feeling of being in an amphitheater as opposed to in a club and the performers yelling into your face. Again, in my 20s, I would have loved it. Now bringing that 2 kHz band works for me. So my reco, if you like a smoother feel, do consider adding an analog EQ and bringing down that 1 to 2 kHz. It'll soften things up real nice. So once again, it's a solid yes for me on the SU-1. I have some audio clips for you next. And first you will hear the PS100, then the SU-1, and finally the Cambridge 851N. Thanks for watching.
Cause we be on a top floor, oh we feeling so high.